Welcome to Sajine Clarity, a space to explore the journey from survival to authenticity. I'm Sajine, and here we dive into the raw truths of breaking free from the expectations we've grown up with, rediscovering our voices, and thriving after life's challenges. But this isn't just about my story, it's about life. Here we will be talking about all the many different ways that we can bring clarity into our lives. So many things that come up our ways, and now we're going to move forward. So I want to welcome you to my new podcast where we will see a beautiful life transform. All the things that we ever wanted and we could just not put our finger on. So if you're ready to embrace courage, healing, and living life on your own terms, you're in the right place. Let's connect. Let's grow. Welcome to Clarity. Now, a quick disclaimer before we dive in. The podcast is for informational and inspirational purposes only. I'm not a licensed therapist, counselor, or medical professional, and the content shared here is based on personal experiences and insights. And I am going to be one of your clarity coaches to be able to tell you what is the best thing you can do in your life so you can start seeing that. And one of the biggest testimonies is me. I had to go through so much in life, and now I'm actually really happy because all this clarity is amazing. It's so much information that at the same time, you get to grieve who you were, but then bring back that one person that you've always been. And now you're going to add a whole bunch of beauty to it. And I think it's important in our lives to do it because the thing is life's too short to be crying and doing so many things for others. Now, if you want to cry for yourself, that's good. You're releasing all those emotions. But today, we're going to figure out something else. Now, today we're going to do the second part of what we were never taught about love, a 2-part deep dive into safety, clarity, and emotional mature connection. Now, I bring it to you because unfortunately last week I got that beautiful cold that everybody's getting and I have lost my voice. So now it's back, stronger, more beautiful, more rich, I guess you would say. But let's dive in, okay? So go ahead, sit down, grab a cup of tea, coffee, your favorite drink, or your breakfast item, or whatever food you're eating at whatever time zone you're at. And I want to say welcome. So let's go into this. So, part 2, how to identify safe love and become safe love. In part 1, we talked about something that can feel uncomfortable, but also incredibly freeing. The truth that many of us didn't fail at love. We were simply operating with incomplete information. We explored the differences between love, limerence, and trauma bonding. We talked about how intensity is often mistaken for intimacy. And we named the 7 real signs of healthy love, the kind of love that doesn't require you to abandon yourself. Now, if you haven't heard it, I go ahead and go back, listen to it, and then you can chime in onto this part 2. Is about something very practical and very empowering. This is about how to identify safe love from the beginning. And just as important, how to become a safe person to yourself so you no longer get pulled into dynamics that cost you your peace. This episode isn't about becoming perfect. It's about becoming clear. I think it's important because life is amazing. And the more I learn about love, the more I see how society does not teach it. And if your family doesn't teach it, how are you going to learn? But we're going to learn from it, okay? So let's go to our section 1. Why safe love can feel unfamiliar. For many of us, safety wasn't what love looked like growing up. Love looked like unpredictability, emotional volatility. Sorry. Sometimes these words are a bit hard for me. Silence. Walking on eggshells. Earning approval. Being good so things wouldn't get worse. So when we encounter safe love later in life, it can feel unfamiliar, even boring. But boredom isn't the problem. The problem is that our nervous systems were trained in chaos. Safe love doesn't activate your anxiety. It doesn't make you question your worth. It doesn't keep you guessing. Safe love feels steady, and steadiness can feel strange if you were raised in survival mode. Okay, so I want to unpack a little bit about this because it's important to bring it out. And I don't know about you. When we were growing up, we were taught, somebody has to choose us. And if they choose us and there's that butterfly feeling, that passion and all that, that means they really do love you. No, it was not, unfortunately. It does feel good. I'm not going to lie about that. But was there really respect? Do they cherish you? Do they respect your boundaries? I don't know. I don't think so. And then once they hand you those silent treatments or walking on eggshells because you didn't know if you said the wrong thing, or you're always trying to earn approval. Yeah, always being good, because if not, you did not want to see the ugly side. But you know what? The moment that you start questioning your life and you start seeing the fear of losing something like that, it's time to go. It's not love. And as much as we want to think that we can bring it back or we can fix things, no, I want to tell you that people are not puzzles or toys or anything like that we can fix. The other person has just as much responsibility in that relationship, where if you both want to work on it together, that's awesome. But if it becomes something that, you know what, you're just not meshing right, you should just say, you know what, I love you enough to let you go. And I'm going to go work on myself, or I'm going to go find somebody else. But you do not want to be stuck in a relationship 5, 10, 15, 20 plus years, thinking that maybe this time it will change because you're doing everything to be better, and then it never does. That's too much life. Don't do that. Section 2, how to identify safe love from day one. All right. We got to see it. Let's talk about what safe love actually looks like. Not in theory, but in real life. 1, safe love is consistent. What they say matches what they do. That's not hot and cold cycle. Okay, this is a good one. I don't know how many times you've been around somebody and they toot their horn of how awesome they are. They talk wonders about being the best human in the world. But then they get around certain people and you can see how they get treated, or the words they say when no one's seeing. Because I'm not even going to say that they're not going to be nice, because sometimes they're even nicer to people who are out than you. Okay, words aren't meshing. Start checking. 2, safe love communicates clearly. You're not decoding texts. You're not checking Instagram. You're not checking anybody with any type of knowledge. How do you know you're a, worthy person? You're not trying to decipher them. The moment you have to do lots of research, or go to a psychic, to a doctor, anything online about a person, oh, pardon me, they came out of nowhere. You need to get away. That is not somebody who's going to clearly communicate. You're not filling any emotional gaps. The worst part is when they're always feeling a certain way and it's not okay. You're not there to be their counselor, their therapist. You're not there to decipher anything. You're there to love. And love shouldn't have to be something where you become the mother or, like I said, therapist. No. 3, safe love respects boundaries. I think this is really important. Really important. Because a boundary doesn't threaten the relationship, it strengthens it. And I'm going to go a little bit deep on this one because you know how many times I was told that I couldn't be the stuck-up, rigid woman because if I was that way, I was never going to find a man. And to this day, I'm like, I should have just stayed a rigid woman. And it wasn't even rigid. It was boundaries. It was things that I did not like. And that should have been the game changer because why? If you don't like something, don't change it just so someone can like you. You're still going to resent yourself because you hate it. And you have to say yes when you want to say no. It's not okay. How many times where they're like, oh, well, you're going to have to accept them because there's no other person there. They all drink, they all smoke, they all do drugs, they all lie, cheat, whatever they want to say. It's not okay. Those boundaries are not for the people. Those boundaries are for you. Many times I was in church and they said, oh, how dare you put a boundary up? Don't you know that Jesus loves everybody just the way they are? And if Jesus is better than you, then who are you to put a boundary up? This one hurt. I'm not saying all religions are that way, but a lot of them are. And the reason why is because who's benefiting from the manipulation and the exploitation? They are. And then you start questioning yourself. So you're gaslighting yourself. And that's why there's so much resentment, hatred, anger, because you didn't put those boundaries in place for yourself. I will not do that again. My boundaries are game changers. If I don't like it, next. If I'm single for the rest of my life, well, guess what? I guess that was just the luck of the draw. And yes, you could say, yeah, but you've already had a husband or whatnot. But you know what? The amount of self-disrespect that I gave myself, how much I forgot who I was for those multiple decades was not okay. I'm now finally finding who I am again, and I love who I am. And now I think if I would have poured so much into myself back then, I probably would still be married right now, but not with the same person. It would have been somebody who respected me. Even if it was later in life, that's okay. Because guess what? Now I'm later in life and I'm still going to have to find somebody else if I want. I'm kind of liking singlehood. It's so nice. But that can be for another show. But yes, put those boundaries up. Start doing it with your friends, family, everybody. The thing is, boundaries are how much are you willing to take? If you do not want somebody disrespecting you, you say it right off the bat and you say, no, that's not going to be okay. You cannot talk about my body. You cannot talk about my family. You cannot talk this way. And you can easily say, if you're going to continue, then I will have to remove myself. And that's going to be okay. And I'll be fine. So let's get those boundaries up. Many times we're told that, oh, he has to kiss us, hug us, whatever it is under the sun, or else they're going to think you're a certain way or not. Guess what? Let them think about it because they're still going to think about it either way. So you know what? No. Don't give that much power to people. Never give that much power to people. No. 4, safe love doesn't rush intimacy. Oh, here's another one that comes along with boundaries. There's no pressure to bond quickly, overshare, or merge lives prematurely. This is so important. Sometimes we think that if we overshare our complete, life, I guess you would say our game book, right? That the other person's going to understand. Mm-mm. You just gave them a lot of ammo, especially if they're not good people, and now they're going to use that against you. You don't need to bond quickly. No, I don't think so. I don't know who you are. I don't know what disease you got. I don't know what your intentions are. And quite frankly, no. This is my body, my life, and I need to be able to take care of myself, And yes, you may be very handsome and whatnot, but no. Mm-mm. Or they want you to quickly move in. I remember my ex saying, "Oh, we should move in right away, right now, because you know what? The leasing is so cheap. It's brand new, and you will not ever find that again if you wait too long." And I remember my parents said, "No, you will not do that." I just didn't do it just because my parents said it, but because back then I was like, "No, I want to be married. I want the whole wedding package. I want everything." And even though he hated it, I did it. And to this day, he still hates it. But well, too bad. He can now deal with his new wife. That's not my problem no more. That's her problem. 5. Safe love allows individuality. You don't lose yourself to be loved. Oh my goodness, this is amazing. Do you know, it is so sad. The amount of music, food, clothing, books, interests, friends, family, everything I left behind, it was too much of a high price. I look back at my pictures and all of them have a sad face on them. I thought it was smiling. I was not. And I see myself and I said, "Oh my gosh, you were so beautiful and young." And he made you feel like you were unworthy, that the only person that was going to accept you was him. And now I look at it and I'm like, dang. I wish I could go back and have that, youthful look. But you know what? I'm going to accept myself because I still look damn good. And it's just a different part of my life, a different time, different chapter. And I'm going to keep going. And I'm not going to lose myself, because the thing is now that I have found her, I'm not letting her go. So don't let yourself go. You're the best that you got. You're in your body 24/7. You can take care of a million people. Why not start taking care of yourself? Love yourself. Take that challenge this year coming, or even starting today. Start loving yourself. You deserve it. 6. Safe love takes responsibility. Apologies come without defensiveness. Repair matters. The thing is love is responsible, because you're responsible for somebody's soul, their feelings, their heart, their brain. Why would you go in there and deliberately destroy it just for your own gains? If you don't know how to love, then don't say you want to love somebody. Go do the work yourself first, and then come back and love. And the thing is a toxic person won't do it. You just won't. So that's why boundaries are good, because then you start seeing what are green and red flags. Do it. You know what? It's time to take responsibility. We're no longer in the 1950s or below, where we had to be chosen so then that way we can carry our name. We women can now work, and go out there, be the best person. If you don't want to work, I respect you too. But guess what? Make sure you have your own money, because the thing is it gives you that stability that you need, just in case somebody goes, a bit off, and then you have stability still. Don't let somebody have that much power over you. Never. 7. Safe love feels calm in your body. Your nervous system is the first place truth shows up. If you have to shrink, explain yourself constantly, or silence your needs, that isn't love, that's adaptation. I really want you to be strong, because the thing is the moment you have to shrink, or you're constantly having to second guess if you're doing something wrong, or your needs are silenced because, oh, my love language is touch, but your love language is, listening or being there. That's not important because my love language comes before anything. And I was just like, oh my goodness. I'm like, you know what? The moment you said that, I'm gone. Section 3, becoming a safe love for yourself. This is a part most people skip, but it's the most important. You can consistently choose safe love if you haven't learned how to be safe with yourself. Oh, sorry. You can't consistently choose safe love if you haven't learned how to be safe with yourself. Safe love, Philautia, looks like trusting your intuition, honoring your discomfort, keeping your own promises, leaving situations that require self-betrayal, choosing peace over potential. That potential is you. Choose that one. And don't ever self-betray yourself. Leave. My favorite one, I need to go to the restroom. It works in every situation, and then you don't come back. Or I left something in the car. I'll be back. When you become safe with yourself, unhealthy dynamics lose their grip. Not because you're stronger, but because you're clearer. Let's find that clarity. Section 4, integrating the Greek loves. Healthy romantic love isn't just eros, attraction. It's philia, friendship and mutual respect. Pragma, long-term commitment and effort. Agape, compassion without control. Hear that again, compassion without control. And Philautia, self-love and self-trust. When one of these is missing, relationships become unstable. When all are present, love becomes something you grow with, not something you survive. Okay, important. I'm going to leave you with this 5 journal homework prompts. I think it's important that we do the work because it's important. 1. When have I ignored my body's signals to preserve a connection? 2. What does emotional safety feel like in my body? 3. Which boundaries do I struggle to maintain and why? 4. How do I abandon myself in relationships? 5. What would choosing myself consistently actually look like? Those are great questions. I believe that would be very helpful in your life because we need to do it, All right, let's get here. We're going to do our little mini guided meditation. I think it's important to choose this because so many times we are overworked. Go ahead, sit down or lay down, whichever is best. I think it's important to choose you. Close your eyes and take a slow breath in through your nose and gently release it through your mouth. Place one hand over your heart. Notice the steadiness of your breath. Notice the safety of this moment. Silently repeat, I'm allowed to choose peace. I'm allowed to trust myself. I do not need chaos to feel connected. Imagine your younger self standing in front of you. See her clearly. Tell her, I will not abandon you again. I will listen to you. I will protect you. Take one final breath with me. When you're ready, gently open your eyes. Healthy love isn't something you earn by suffering. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of Sajin Clarity. I hope it gave you something to think about, feel, or explore on your new clarity journey. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Feel free to share it with someone who might need it or reach out to connect. And if you're looking for deeper insights behind how these things, I will start offering my Sajin Clarity coaching services. I think it's important to start finding clarity. You've always had the answers within you, but I'm here to guide you, to walk with you in your journey so you can have a better life. Thank you so much. Until